Hello, hi. How are you doing? I'm doing okay, thank you. Actually, I'm doing really okay, thank you. I've had a very nice day. Can't really tell, and I don't think it's part of this blog because it's not finished yet. But the downstairs is starting to take shape. The mirror's up. The what's this called? The sofa's back in. I've moved some bits around. I don't know whether it's staying as it is at the minute, but it's in there. I've got a workshop tomorrow that I haven't written, so I need to do that. It's only a learn to knit one, but because now I'm doing all of the workshops on a Saturday morning, everything needs to be rewritten because they used to be sort of full long day workshops with 4 hours worth of stuff, and now it's 2.5 hours. Working out brilliantly. I'm really enjoying teaching on a Saturday morning, and it still leaves me my Sunday for free. So it's working out really well, but all of the lessons need tweaking, changing totally. Anyway, oh, bollocks! I am actually going to have to pause you here because it's taken weeks and weeks and weeks, but I finally remembered to bring the thing in that I wanted to show you, and I've left it upstairs. I'm just going to pause here. I'm coming back. Hello. What I don't think I said was, it's Eleanor from Knit Nottingham. How are you doing? I'm doing okay, thank you. I know that you're going to ask about this jumper. I was just trying to think if I could remember the name of it, and I can remember the name of it. It's called the Sophia Loren jumper. It's a free one from Knitty. I made some slight changes because it's done in a worsted, if I remember, and this is the cotton soft, and it's perfect for days like today. It's really sunny outside, so if you're outside in the sun, brill. But if you're not, if you're downstairs in the basement, then you just need something that's a bit of a layer, and this is a bit of a layer. I love it. I love wearing it. Anyway, not what I wanted to talk about today. So what I want to talk about today is a new-ish, not that new at all really, yarn called the Baby Pure DK, and it's by King Cole, and they did do a Baby Pure DK years ago, 3, 4, 5 years ago, I don't know, and it was absolutely gorgeous. It was soft as a cloud, and it was like mingledy wingledy, that's paint, mingledy wingledy colours with white, like very, very, very pale colours mingled with white, and it was gorgeous, but it was difficult to make. I don't know why. Difficult to dye. And so they had a series of like kind of failed batches, and then they just cancelled the yarn off. And it was a real shame because it was an absolutely gorgeous yarn and it sold really well. And that's that. So now they've brought out Baby Pure, which is the same name for a different product. I personally think that's a bad idea, that I don't get to decide, do you know what I mean? And I can see, I think this colour might show you maybe what they were thinking, because it's stripy wipey. That's also paint on my fingernails, I'm sorry. It's stripy wipey, but within the stripy wipes, it's mingledy wingledy. So I do sort of see why they might kind of class it together with the Baby Pure, but it has a totally different texture. So the Baby Pure was like the Snuggly DK. I don't know whether it was a pure acrylic or whether it was an acrylic nylon blend, but you know when you get an acrylic nylon blend, it tends to be like super soft, and that's what that was. And this one is more like, although it is an acrylic and nylon blend, 70% premium acrylic, 30% polyamide, that's nylon. What am I trying to say? It is that, so it is super soft, but it's soft in that sort of smooth way, you know, like Cherish. Have I said that already? Have I said it's a bit like Cherish? Because it is a bit like Cherish. It's got a sort of slight shine to it, and it's got a lot of plies. So If I move my face, does it focus? Don't know whether you're going to get that. It's really nice. It's really nice to work with. Shit, I don't know the price of it. I don't know the price of it. I think it's £4.25. Oh God, do you know, I used to come on these things and I used to know, do you know what I mean? I used to know the things I was gonna tell you, but things have happened to my brain and I no longer function in the same way, so you'll just have to cope with what you've got. Baby Pure. So it has, however, unlike the Cherish, it has 300 metres, which is a really great yardage for a double knit, or like sort of medium to, on the good side of medium, or on the lower end of good. On the lower end of good, I would say. Absolute medium, I would say 280 to 290 metres. So 300, really great. So it goes quite a long way, and that is strange to me because it is so similar in texture to Cherish, and that texture tends to have less meters. But whatever, here we are. So you can wash it at 40. You can dry clean it in any chemical, and you can cool tumble dry it. It's got standard double knit tension, 22 stitches, 28 rows, and you use a 4mm needle or hook. And it does crochet well because the stripes are quite big, so like feel free to crochet. I think that's going to be really nice. So I've chosen one of the colours here, Baby Icicle. I don't particularly like this colour. I think it's all right, really. I'm just a bit, am I bored of silver for babies? I don't know. It's still probably the most modern neutral. What am I trying to say? Forgot. So, but I chose this because I think it shows why they called it Baby Pure, if you remember Baby Pure from before. Another colour I don't like is this one, which is a Baby Petal, and this is pink, standard baby pink, like Barbie but baby. Barbie baby with white, so it goes down to yeah, I think it's white, through different shades of very pale pink to silver, which is fine. It's modern. I get it. I understand what you're saying. I know why people have chosen this. I get that. But then tell me why we have this colour, which is Baby Cloud. So that was Baby Petal, and this is Baby Cloud. And this is a different pink, like a sort of more salmony pink, which is quite nice, really. And it's also got a beige in it, and in a silver as well, and then down into white. So different concepts, and I see that they're different, and they do look different. And you would use them for like different people, I guess. This is a bit more traditional because it's Pinky Winky, and this one's a bit less traditional because it's Salmony Wamony. But I still don't know why we have to have two different pinks with greys. So now we get on to every other colour, which I like, although we're missing one. So this is Baby Pink, and you can't, I knew you weren't going to be able to see. You can't see this because the colour is so delicate. Oh, it's like my walls. It's such a delicate pink. It's gorgeous. So because I actually really like pastels. I know I don't wear them, and I should wear them more often because they actually really suit me. But the thing is, I get my dinner down with, so I really shouldn't. I didn't ought to. But this is like the most delicate baby pink, and then it stripes down into white. And where the baby pink is, it's smooshy wooshy. It's gorgeous. I'm not joking. I think it's beautiful. And then the next one, this is Baby Blue, and it's not, I don't think it's quite as delicate, but it is still on the delicate end of Baby Blue. And it's a perfect baby blue. It's like exactly what you're expecting, but smooshy wooshied and striped with white. So like that's quite exciting. They are gorgeous colours. The colour that we're missing, which actually I think is in stock, but I mean I don't know for definite, is a mint. And again, it's a really perfect mint, striped down into white. And then this colour is my favourite colour, which is Baby Lilac. And again, such a delicate colour, such a beautiful, delicate colour. I love it. Honestly, I love it. This has been for me the star of the show. So I do like that. And along with the mint, down into the grey, I'm a big fan of that. I like the plain colours, do you know what I mean? I just think two pink and greys, I see what they're doing, but I feel like that could have gone into a different, like either of these, they could have made them cherish colours, do you know what I mean? So let's leave that. Can I do it in such like an artistic way? No, not really. No, not really. No, I can't. I'm going to put it back in its basket. So obviously these yarns came with patterns, just knitting patterns. You can use them with any double knit crochet pattern. And it's going to be quite hard, I think, to show you some of these patterns because the colours are so delicate, and I'm not a filmographer. So this one, nah, don't think you can see. No. It's I would describe this as a sort of kind of peacoat because it's a little bit longer. It's got a hat, three buttons at the top. What do they call it? Oh, they just call it a cardigan, but it's quite a long cardigan for a baby. Goes kind of quite down to there. And there's like little kind of petals every now and again, like polka dots, you know what I mean? There's a blanket as well. Very sweet. Just like very sweet. It's very nice. It's shown in the pink, which is part of the reason why I think you can't see it. Now this one, I think you can see much better. So it's got some sort of slip stitch design that makes it look a bit like scales, I suppose. And I do think it's cute to have the headband. I don't like headbands, but you're not me. There's another cardigan on the back that I don't think you can see as well. It's done in the thing. So the difference is, oh, this one's a V-neck. That one's a round neck. Yeah, that's it. That's the difference. What was I saying? Oh, I don't like headbands. We're all different. We get asked for headbands a lot. So I think it's really great that King Cole have done one. I'm happy with that. That's the mint, although it looks a bit duller than it does in real life. So this is a sort of, whoa. I don't know how well you can see that. It's a sort of, I guess the closest thing is like a basket weave. Or like a broken rib. Simple knit purl designs, like really, this is it's baby fare, do you know what I mean? Like it's not going to change the world, but they are very sweet. And the buttons that they've used, those little teddy bear buttons, we stock those, and the buttons are on the internet as well, so I will link to them. There's a collared cardigan here and a V-neck cardigan there. That's literally what they call it. Oh, and the colour, the mint colour, is called Baby Mint. Very sweet. It's got a garter stitch around the edges, which is nice. I'm just going to save that and talk about it in a second. This one's gorgeous. I've got a real soft spot for garter stitch, and if you don't know that, then you haven't been watching the vlogs very carefully. So it's a jacket that's like all in garter stitch, apart from there's a whale tail cable running down the sleeves. Can you see that? Very simple, but very effective. And garter stitches, mwah, I just think it's gorgeous, especially when you've got something that's slightly smooshy wooshy, higgledy piggledy, do you know what I mean? I just think garter stitch is like, And I think it's overlooked. I think once you learn pearls, you often just totally move past garter stitch and never do it again, and I don't know why. Oh, and there's a hat. That's cute, and it's also got the cable running up the front. Collared cardigan. Bro. And this is just a simple jumper on one side and cardigan on the other. There is a little bit of patterning on the yoke, garter ridge, and then a sort of interrupted garter ridge. Really looks nice. The thing that I was looking at is I was trying to see whether those garter ridges were in a different colour, It looks like they were, but I think it's just the way that the colours have fallen. I'm just wondering, because this one seems to have white around the edge. But it doesn't. Can you see around the thing? They must have just chosen the portion of the yarn where it's really white. So you could do that yourself, and you could, if you wanted to, do that on the garter ridges. I don't know whether you can see it a bit better in there, maybe. But what I was thinking was whether they had used Cherish, because the pure white in Cherish, for example, would match very nicely with that. So if you wanted to do the edges or the ridges or whatever in white or any other colour, there's purples in there, there's mints in there, there's blues and so on. And now I've saved this one till last. So this is a cardigan, and again I would sort of think of it as like more of a kind of coat, like a kind of pea coat type thing. There's what we all call a tunic on the back, but look, it's buttoned up the back, which I think must be very uncomfortable if you're a child and you spend a lot of time lying down. Anyway, whatever. So I'd be tempted to like use the front of the tunic and the back of the cardigan and just make an actual tunic, but you'd want to think about doing some buttons up the sides, up the shoulder, if they don't. Anyway, this is what I'm making, and I will tell you this story. It's not that interesting a story, to be honest. When I was off with COVID, which was, oh God, like 2-3 months ago now, towards the end of the week, I really struggled because I hadn't planned to be off, obviously. And, oh my God, and Katie and Casper really stepped up. And towards the end of the week, I'd sort of run out of stuff for them to do that didn't require me to be in. So I told Katie to cast on a sample. I think I said I wanted it in the pure, but I left everything else up to her, and this is what she chose. And I think she chose well because it's gorgeous. Don't know how well you can see, but there's a sort of little cable running up the side. It's got a little lacy hole in it, and then there's a much bigger cable that's a bit like a whale tail cable, although it's not like your traditional whale tail. And it's just very, very, it's sweet. And I do think it's probably the standout pattern from this set of patterns. So she starts it, and I don't ask them to do shop samples and stuff at home, and I feel really uncomfortable if they do it at home, because that's their time, do you know what I mean? I don't want to bother them. So she did quite a bit of this. Maybe, oh yeah, you can see the cables much better, look. Yeah, so she did quite a bit of that on that week, and then it just sort of sat in the shop on the needles, and I thought at some point, really a couple of weeks ago, I thought to myself, oh my God, a couple of months ago, when did I get COVID? I don't know. I thought, I ought to finish that. So starting from about here, which is where that darker bit came, I think that probably is a mistake, like a bad lot or something, but I like it. I've got anything that's a bit weird, I'm in. So I thought, let me finish that, and I thought it'd be dead simple. And actually, oh my God, the cable pattern is 12 rows. Is that the truth? The cable pattern is 12 rows. The miniature cable is every 4th row, and there's like 2 rows to it, and then 2 it's like a rib. And then the other one is every 6 rows. So at one point, the cables match up, and at 2 other points, or 3 other points, you're doing small cable on its own, large cable on its own, then they match up, I think, and then you do the small cable on its own. I think that's the way that it works. Anyway, but I had assumed that it was not done like that. I assumed that they'd matched it up a bit. What I would have done, personally, is I would have done the small cable every 4 rows, the large cable every 8 rows, is probably what I would have done. Whatever. We're all different. So it took me ages to find where I was in that pattern. Ripped it out, took it back. So this top bit from here-ish has been ripped out and redone a lot, and it really holds up, which is not what I planned to test, but But it is what I ended up testing. There's a little, you can sort of see a little difference in mine and Katie's tension. I think she's a little bit looser than me, but it doesn't really matter because the rest of it is done in my tension. So then I cast on, like once I finished that, obviously I cast on for the front, but then I was like, I don't need to read the pattern, I know what I'm doing. So I got all the way to where you cast off for the armhole. And realised that I hadn't done any of this, like quite a lot of shaping just to bring it in. So it is like a peacoat sort of stuff. And I was like, So I had to rip that back and redo it. And I did that a couple of times, couldn't count. I really have lost the ability to knit. I don't know if anybody else is feeling this. Is it the Mercury in retrograde, which is apparently stopped now? So is that the case? Anyway, so I decided to start the sleeve the other day and I took that to Knit Club. So I was going to say obviously, not obviously, if you start a sleeve and it's smaller and they get bigger and then you do some shaping stuff at the top. So you do some increases, say every, I don't know, 6 rows, 8 rows, whatever. And and obviously, the increases didn't line up with the cable patterns is what I'm trying to say. So trying to keep those in my brain currently, just not capable of doing that. And so incapable of doing that, incapable. And so I ended up having to do that thing, you know, where you write down like row 1 is this kind of cable and it's an increase, row 2 is pearl, row 3 is this kind of cable, not an increase, and it's like literally line by line wrote it out. I had to do it in Knit Club because also it was Knit Club and like we were chatting and stuff. But I used to keep complex things in my mind. I do not do that anymore. That is the effect of the pandemic. Anyway, finished that sleeve, then came back and managed to do this front. I haven't actually checked if it fits in. No, it doesn't fit in, so something's gone wrong, but that's okay, I can work that out. And that also doesn't fit in. So basically, I can stretch that out, but I can't stretch that out, so I need to go back and have a look at what's going on. So basically, it's just been a bit of a nightmare. And I've just lost the ability to knit. The other day, it was Knit Club's 15th birthday. Well done, Steph Gibbs, for setting up Knit Club. I don't think I know many Knit Clubs that have been going for 15 years. Certainly not one that was set up by just like a 18-year-old or something. Very, very young. No, older than that. 20 because you just 21 because you just graduated. Anyway, very impressive to have kept it going all that time. And I'm sure, so Knit Club has been going for 15 years now, and I'm sure I've been going for 14, maybe 13 of those years, which is wild, isn't it, when you think about it? Anyway, listen, what am I talking about? I've forgotten. Oh, Knit Club's picnic, 15th birthday picnic, and I took that pink and red cotton socks top, thinking you cast on, you purl, you set up your pattern, simple. I can't count, I can't knit, and I can't eat ice cream without dropping the ice cream all over my wool. And I don't know if you've ever tried to like count kind of quickly and like move your stitches. Well, they're sticky with ice cream, but it's not great, it's not nice, not an enjoyable situation. So I ended up literally, in the end, the effect was, because I had to rip it all out, not knitting a single stitch on that day because I can't knit anymore. Anyway, that's all I've got to give you. So I believe this is £4.25. I know that these are £3. I know that they're all on the till. I know that these have been stock checked today. And I know that if you're looking to knit or crochet for babies, then this will be like a really nice thing to use. I'm enjoying using it. I'm enjoying using it so much that, that I'm reusing it again and again. It's nothing to do with the wool, and it's actually nothing to do with the pattern. It's literally to do with my brain being unable to function. Anyway, I'm going now. It's not that late. It's about 7 o'clock, I think, on a Friday evening. But I've got a lesson tomorrow. Then it'll be Katie's lunch. Then I've got a private lesson tomorrow, and then I am off on an adventure. So I had to get this done today if it was going to get done, and it did get done. That's it. I love you. Goodbye. Mwah.